my friend.
We are back for part 3
Yes.
on this silent killer called depression.
Yes.
Suffering silently. And this
Yeah.
time, y'all got to pull your chair in because this conversation is so good. As you can
Ooh.
see, we're doing part 3. I mean, Ruth really dropped a whole lot of stuff the last session about me as a leader walking with me in this journey and going to depression. So
Yeah.
we want to continue to speak about this because this is a taboo kind of thing in the kingdom.
Yes. Yes.
Leaders, leaders and believers,
Yes.
as you said, in the mental institution.
Oh, leaders
Come
and
on, Lady
believers.
K. Oh, we forgot to introduce ourselves. Just in case you forgot, I'm Hannah Joseph. This is Lady K. Welcome to our friendship table.
Welcome. Welcome to the friendship table.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
We already
Yes.
started talking.
Yes, we did. It was so interesting.
Yes.
Leaders and believers in the mental institution. As I was speaking on part 1 of the podcast, when I was admitted into the mental hospital because of another nervous breakdown, I received a surprising shock of my life when I was inside the hospital. And the surprise was that I met preachers, male and female leaders, other Christians inside the mental hospital. My mind was blown. I was like, huh? And the good thing was when I met them and when we talked, they were not ashamed that they were there, which encouraged me more because I'm a Christian, also in a leadership role. And for them to tell me that they weren't ashamed of being there, that they needed to be there to get help, wow, that just made me more receptive to consider all the treatment that was being presented by my healthcare team. And there was also an incident, I got to share this just to show you how good God is. While I was in there, it was one particular day that I wasn't feeling too good. Just physically wasn't feeling good. Not mentally, but physically wasn't feeling good. And this was probably like about a week into me being there. So I had met friends and Christian friends. I was so surprised. Because I wasn't feeling well, word got back to all of my little Christian friends that they would call me Carol. Carol, not feeling well. Let me tell you, I was in the bed. Before I looked up, all my little Christian buddies came in my room, held hands, and went to God in prayer for me.
Wow.
Talk about a shocker.
Wow. Another shocker.
God in prayer for me because it wasn't the mental health issues. I just wasn't feeling well. Just wasn't feeling good. Not the mental stuff. Physical illness. I think my head was hurting and I was feeling just wasn't feeling good. So they held hands and prayed. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. I was like, so after that experience, I said, I'm not going to judge nobody ever again.
That took you to your humility role. Like, you know.
I said, I'm not going to judge nobody. I ain't going to bother nobody. I'd have never thought that I'd have met Christians in leadership in the mental hospital. And then not only meeting them, but they came to my rescue. Physically, I wasn't feeling well.
Yeah, exactly.
tag team and got the other ones and came and prayed for me. I was shocked. And I said that to say that you just never know who is suffering in silence. There are
Exactly. But did you have any conversation with, especially the leader? How did it get to that place?
Burnout. Burnout.
Wow. Yeah.
Burnout. Just burnout. Just having to be there for everyone, do everything, just burnout, Others had other conditions like schizophrenia, depression, anxiety disorder, all different types of mental illness symptoms that they had, and they were not ashamed to tell me. Wow. And I was just blown away. And what they all had in common, they said, but nevertheless, we trust God.
Wow.
We trust God. He
able to
allow us to be
God
here.
In a different form. Because God is not just preacher, teaching, Bible study. God is in all the different form. I think that is so amazing, because a lot of people, I believe, especially preachers, people are committing suicide. Preachers are committing suicide because they are afraid to say something is going on within my mind. Something is going with me mentally. Then you're going to think I'm crazy. You're going to judge me. And some of them will commit suicide because they don't know what else to do. Something must be wrong with me.
Exactly. Because people will be like, well, not you. You're the happy one. You the prayer warrior. Not you depressed.
You just described me. That's what we just talked about the last session. That's exactly what Ruth was saying. Like, I was considered sunshine, and all this of my sunshine turned to rain, and I turned to a whole different person. And then and I could relate to those leaders that said, you burned out, but you don't know you burned out. You think you're supposed to not burned out. You think you're supposed to be there for everybody because that's what's expected of you. So nobody check on you because you're busy checking on everybody else.
Yes.
Everybody have this expectation, especially if you carry a leadership role in church. Oh my goodness. You got to become perfect. You got to come not worry. You got to come already there. Don't you cry. Don't you move. Don't you show no emotion. But I strongly believe and recommend every trauma you go through, you have to go through counseling.
I definitely.
Every trauma. I after my divorce, I went through counseling. I sat and talked to a counselor. Really, it was many sessions that I went through, and to help me deal with the pain and the emptiness of even going through my divorce and finding my joy and my happiness in my new life. You know what I'm saying? And not be ashamed because I'm happy. Not be, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a unspoken thing. You divorced, you're supposed to be depressed, for what? And I'm like, okay, I need somebody to help me because I need to know the difference and balance it out. I need to deal with the pain. I need to get rid of the pain, but I need to walk through that so I won't keep making that same mistakes of going through depression. No. I strongly, I don't care what you've been through. It could be sometimes you could go and have a foreclosure, lost a house, or go through all of that, even a child. All of that trauma that you go through, you have to go through a counselor and deal with it. Because you said it on part one, the residue of that what caused depression, the residue of the trauma.
Yes, the residue.
This right here is powerful.
Wow.
This right here, the brain is so powerful. And if you don't know how to take care of it, it's going, and you can pray and fast all day long. It's not going to help until you stop and take care of the source of your being, of your mental state.
Yes.
So being a preacher, and I really just fell out like preachers. So I said, you know what? I could have ended up in there. I could have ended up in that, probably would have just got more help.
It's a non-judgmental environment. that says it's okay for you to be feeling this way. We are here to help you feel better or help support you in any way that we can to manage.
So
So
what caused you to have a like, let's say, relapse like that? What happened that would trigger that?
that's a very good word in the mental health world, the word trigger. Because for example, we can use like soldiers in the army, and they often talk about their
PTS.
PTSD,
Yeah, yeah.
and that, like it's, they can hear a bullet or something go off, and that could trigger a memory of them being on the battlefield. So a lot of what happens to me nowadays, since I started the treatment 26 years ago and I'm still in it, is a lot of triggers, things that could trigger. You can't control a trigger. If something happens in your environment that reminds you of your trauma, then it brings that thought up, or sometimes that memory, and then the memory can trigger emotional pain or other symptoms. So triggers is something we don't have control over. But what I've learned to do is manage it. Like if I feel myself get triggered, I change the channel in my mind and think of something else. There are different techniques to help you manage your triggers. And so
that remind me of my book, Power of Your Word. Let me do a little small commercial about my book. Because that's what helped you get rid of the triggers. Because some affirmation in this book that you will say, it will move, and just like you say, it will change the channel in your brain, in your mind, because that's what I've learned through, even when I wrote this book, about the power of your words, or what the thing that you say to yourself have the power to rewire the brain.
Yes.
Where the brain could rewire itself from one place to another.
Yes.
And even when I go through these affirmations myself, I could feel my mind, like if I'm having these thoughts of, here we go, it would literally rewind my mind, and I started, as you said, thinking about something else. Yes. And a lot of people don't know that. And you know what else? Even as a teacher, preacher, or a pastor, you have to be able, and you said it so beautifully, you have to be able to know those different type and different level of triggers.
Yes.
There are different levels. Like after I teach, I noticed that, because when you go in the spirit and you teach and you bring out really deep revelation, your whole body and mind goes through a metamorphosis of the spirit, and then you have to come back into the natural. When you come back, your body don't know what else to do. I've learned after a few times after teaching, and I start feeling sad, and I'm like, how could I be so high in the spirit, and after that I'm so sad? You have to deal with it. You can't pretend that I bind you, devil. That don't work. Okay, why the devil ain't move? Because it's not the devil. So I had to go find out, what is it that I could be so high teaching, as soon as it's over, it's like you come down. And when you come down, your body, you start feeling this sadness, because there's part of different chemicals in the brain that releases in this high. And then that chemical don't know where to go. And a lot of people don't know that, especially preachers. And that's why a lot of them fall into sin. They fall in after they preach, because that brain don't know what to do. So you have to manage that chemical and find out what's going to bring order back to that chemical. For me, I've told my mentee, my student, I said, after I'm teaching, what helped me a lot is we talk. If I'm, tell me, what did you learn? I start asking them questions. We start having conversation. And sometimes it doesn't have to be about the word. Sometimes it could be about life. If I start getting company around me, and sometimes I go shopping with them, and we need to go places, I need to talk. I had to find my trigger to keep me from getting sad after teaching, and said, this is the remedy for me. So after I'm teaching, I want to talk. I want to have a conversation. Everybody know, hang around the room and hang around and let's talk. Because that helps me to manage those chemicals that release in the high to come back into order by having a conversation.
Very good. And I love the word and emphasis on remedy. Remedy. And how I associate the remedies for your triggers or for however you need to adjust your mental state into a positive place. The remedies are like, for example, in the healthcare field, there are hundreds and hundreds of antibiotics on the market. Antibiotics. And each antibiotic can cure a different type of infection. And so, same thing with your mental health, knowing what type of antibiotic works for your body. Like, for example, when it comes to antibiotics for me, I can't have an antibiotic that has the substance sulfur in it because my body is literally physically allergic to sulfur. So the same way with your mental health treatment and what you beautifully described of what you do, again, we all have different DNAs, even when it comes to our physical, our mental. Different remedies works for different people.
You just said something so powerful that's a thought. That if you could find out what you're allergic to with medicine, you get to know, okay, like me, codeine is not good in anything that I take. It have a reaction in my body. So you got to find out what is it in your body. So what does that mean? It means that we have to deal with what's wrong with us. We have to deal with our mental. You know what? I get depressed when I do this. I knew I get sad after teaching. I had to deal with. I couldn't ignore that.
No,
the devil. Oh, I'm not gonna think about it. No, I need to put it on the table. And as we say, and come up with an ingredient remedy to fix that, so I won't keep falling into that. Because otherwise, I'm going to stay sad after teaching and not knowing what's wrong with me.
What's wrong with me?
So if we could take what you're allergic to, what medicine you can't take, it's the same thing with your mental.
Yes.
You got to know what trigger you and how to manage it, what you need to do.
Yes.
So if I know this makes me sad after teaching, and I know I don't know where to put those chemicals, I'm going to have my remedy to know this is how you put those chemicals in order.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So people that care and love you
yes.
ask you these questions and say, what can I do?
What can I do
to help you with the remedies that you need? And that's what Ruth was talking about. When people just walked away because all they want is something from me, but nobody never stopped and asked me, are you okay? Or is everything all right? If they see me go, crying, nobody never, she just so mean, and she just so tough. Nobody never asked, are you okay? Or is it why my experiencing, why are you doing that? Nobody never asked.
Right.
They got in a group and judged and talked about it and called me all kind of witch and all kind of they took my whole spiritual experience with God and started judging and putting name on it. And I do this, and when she prays, she do that, and never got to know me for me, never got to know my spirit, never even know what makes me tick, never know what prayer can you say for me, or what do you need, what do you like, something, you know what I'm saying? And
yes, something.
And I remember when Ruth said I started getting very sensitive. I remember there was a time, I love surprise parties, right? But at that time, I hated it. And nobody never asked me why. Nobody never said, why does that surprise party trigger you? And I remember there was one. And I took off running in the middle of I left the house and took off running. and they had to go catch me. And I was
Wow.
screaming and crying, and not one person asked me, what's wrong? Oh, she's so mean. She just so this. She never happy about nothing. And they all just kept talking, but no one never asked, what's wrong? What happened? What triggered that? No one never asked me that.
What triggered that behavior?
No one never asked. So they all went and said, oh, she just don't like surprise birthday. And that's not true. I happen to love it. But there was something that was triggering me at that time. And nobody took the time to even want to find out what's wrong. But they put a label on it, as you said, and call you name. Like, okay, you go to mental hospital, you crazy. You act like this, something must be wrong with you. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've been called every name in the book.
Oh my goodness. I was afraid of the stigma.
Yes.
And that's why I never broke my silence to many people, because of the negative stigma that surrounds someone who is receiving treatment for mental health problems. You know, like you say, oh, they're crazy, or they don't have it all, or, you know, something negative, never nothing positive to say, oh, well, wonder what's really wrong with her, what's triggering her, wonder what is it, to get to the bottom of it, you know, that stigma.
While you were talking, I remember even sleeping, and one day I think in my prayer room, and I was having like a mental breakdown experience, and nobody knew. I was dreaming that I was stuck. My mind was stuck in a box, like a four wall. Like, you know, when they put you in an asylum where there's no window. Okay, I had that experience, and I jumped and screamed. Nobody never asked me, are you okay? What's wrong? Automatically, it was a label.
A label.
Oh, yeah, I don't know why, and I don't know if this is a spiritual kingdom believer kind of thing, but whenever people don't understand something, they call it witchcraft.
Oh, wow.
They call it a demon. They call it a witchcraft because they don't understand it. So it's beyond the understanding. That's the first thing they call it. Oh, you must be a witch, or you must be this. So that people that judge and put labels because they don't understand.
Wow.
And they themselves, I always said, they themselves need a psychiatrist. They themselves need a counselor. They themselves need help. But they're quick to judge. Yeah, because they don't understand it. So I know that feeling.
Yes.
You know, when people put a stigma on you because they don't understand your triggers, they don't understand your trauma, they don't understand all that you've been through. But people and I will recommend to especially leaders, believers, don't be afraid to go get help.
Exactly.
Stop casting out demons. Because if somebody want to be honest, why those demons not coming out? Obviously, it's not a demonic force. It's a mental issue. Mental issue is not demonic. Because you said chemical imbalance.
It's a healthcare problem.
Exactly.
It's like in the healthcare. It's in the healthcare family.
Exactly. So
just
trauma,
like you would treat.
Exactly. It's trauma not being taken care of. Things that you've been through that you never dealt with. Unforgiveness could become a trauma.
Yes,
you could become, unforgiveness and holding it in your heart so deep towards somebody that you just become mentally unhealthy.
Yes.
Because you're holding that stuff inside of you. All of that is part of, tell my child, that's the first thing we say, child, I don't want to be bothered with so I forgive them. I don't want to talk to them no more. That's not true. That is not true. So I hope that somebody will listen to this and listen to our experience and get some value for it and say, you know what, I'm gonna go get help. I'm gonna go find somebody I could sit down and talk to, because suicide is not the answer.
Oh,
it's not somebody. I mean, there's things that's inside of you that you have to fulfill, that God blew you on this earth for a reason. and put us here to fulfill a purpose. And if you jump out of here, then you're not going to fulfill that purpose. And then and then you're going to cause somebody else trauma, your children, your spouse, your family, your friend.
Yeah.
You're going to cause them trauma. Now
Yes.
you continue that curse of trauma because you put them in that trauma.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean that just really resonated with me when you said that lady gave you that wisdom, and because of your children, you just keep fighting.
Oh my goodness. That's was
beautiful.
the turning point for me to never give up fighting against mental health problems, depression, anxiety, all of that. I fight to this day, to this very day. And that is the truth. Again, I was in therapy today. This is part of regular health care. Just like some people been taking blood pressure medicine all their life, or whatever medications that they've been taking for life. This is now, I've made my peace with God. He allows it. So this is part of my healthcare regimen, a mental health care team. It have to be present in my life. Have to be. And I'm okay. I'm finally okay enough to be proud and not be embarrassed anymore.
That's beautiful.
I have mental health problems, but thanks be to God, they are manageable with a managed healthcare team of mental health care professionals.
Exactly. Yeah. But just as you said that, it's like the next person could say, they have a heart failure issue and they have a team that they are following. They're going to the doctor, or you have diabetes. Okay. That's healthcare.
Healthcare.
So all these people, and there's a whole lot of believers that sit over there with diabetes and heart failures and all kind of stuff, arthritis and all this stuff. To me, I have my mental health. I am managing my own mental health to make sure I don't fall back into depression.
Very good. Yes.
That. So I'm in that. We both have a different journey and a process, right, of managing our mental health. There's certain changes that I had to make, certain things that I'm doing that's managing my mental, even my brain health. I'm doing things to manage my brain health. A lot of believers don't believe in meditation. They don't believe in exercise. They don't believe all the stuff that help your mental, your brain. Because my brain is the piano of my song in my mental. Yes. So if I want to manage the song, I got to take care of the brain.
Yes.
So I'm doing things to manage, to make sure that I have brain health.
Yes.
So I could have better mental health, so I will not fall into this depression anymore. Yes. That I won't fall into this thing that I think that I deserve, that it's normal for me to be mentally or emotionally abused by people or by believers as a leader, to think that is the right thing to do, to just, and I'm thinking it's okay because I'm a leader, I'm supposed to be abused. So that devil, you a lie, and your cousin not here. So I no longer have that upon me because I'm taking care of my mental space.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So all of us, and I pray that people, it's different for a lot of us. It's not the same for everybody. You got to know yours. You got to do the work. You got to know what makes you tick and what don't. Yes. And work on it. And I'm working on.
Yes.
I'm constantly working on mine.
Very good. I'm so proud of you.
Falling into, oh my God, I know what I need to do. As you said, change my channel and say, wait a minute, I need to go into gratefulness. I need to be grateful. And I know, and every time I would do my little remedies to change my channel.
To change your channel. Yes, Lord.
So I would tell you, preachers, leaders out there, please don't let yourself die mentally. Don't allow nobody to cause you to commit mental suicide. Oh my goodness, that was just
Yes.
something we got to talk.
Yes.
Don't allow nobody to cause you to commit mental suicide by
Yes.
not taking care of your mental health and letting people just take from you, and then you don't allow yourself to be put back in and get out of this merry-go-round that, ooh, I'm helping. I got to be there for everybody. I got to preach. I got to teach. I got to be. This time you got to step away. This time you got to go deal with what's going on with you. And you got to go find out what that is.
Absolutely.
And deal with it. You said, come up with the remedy. Find a counselor. Go get this mental health psychiatrist. Just sit down, talk to somebody.
Yes.
Stop holding that stuff inside.
Yes.
Because it's become toxic.
Yes.
Find somebody on the outside of your team that you can be honest with and talk to.
You can be honest. Yes.
There won't be no judgment.
Exactly.
But
no judgment.
I mean, tell somebody you're going on vacation and then just check yourself in a mental institution for a minute.
Hey,
let them think you on a vacation, sabbatical, whatever.
That is a vacation.
Exactly.
A mental vacation. You let me tell you.
Exactly.
Oh, and before we close, also I want to encourage everyone. I know we've been talking about adult mental health issues. I also want to encourage you to keep an eye on our teenagers and our children, our young children.
Yes.
They go through problems and situations too that also impact their mental health. We want to remember the children, the teenagers, and the young.
And the preacher's kids.
Yes.
I know they are suffering because of the high expectation that they have to follow mom and dad's footsteps. We got to pray for the PKs.
Yes.
Because they're all going through that. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with your friends, family, and on your social media. Please subscribe so you can get our notice when we on. And we're going to bring more guests that's going to talk about this. It's going to give more wisdom and more value to your journey of life. So please talk to your children, as Carol was saying, especially preachers' kids. Talk to them. That's the reason they're acting out, because nobody is talking to them. Nobody is minding their mental state and this high expectation of them. And somebody needs to talk to them. So please do. Please watch the children, and don't be ashamed to say, I need mental health.
Right.
Don't be ashamed of that.
Don't be ashamed.
Subscribe and like our YouTube. And thank you for joining us. Until next time, we thank you for bringing your chair to our table.
Yes.
We hope that you got some wisdom and something that's going to help you to your next journey.
Yes.
Of mental health. Take care of the brain. Take care of it.
Take care of it.
All right. Love you, girl.
Love you too, girl. Love you back.
Being my friend.
Thank you for being my friend.